is your Monday moment. I hope it's a great Monday for you. And as we progress through the remaining 3 weeks of June, these Monday moments are dedicated to post-pandemic reopening issues. Wow, we've had a lot going on in the last couple of months, but we're finally to a point where we can reopen and start that flow of business and maybe even feeling productive. But one key question that may be on your mind, that I know has been on the mind of many of our coaching clients, the leaders we have the privilege of serving and working with, is what the heck are my new skill sets? Meaning, what do I bring to the table now? And then that leads to the question of, do I, in fact, bring anything to the table now? Yes, you do. And while you may not put "survived the pandemic" on a t-shirt, well, maybe on a t-shirt, but not on your resume or your LinkedIn profile, there are certainly new skill sets that you've become quite good at. Take a listen and or watch this video of today's Monday moment, and let's highlight 3 of those very specific, invaluable, related to leadership, new and or even more practiced skills. Your first brand new skill set, if you didn't have it before, is flexibility. And certainly all through this pandemic period, and then with the upheaval politically and among various and different and many groups of people, flexibility is the name of the game. You have a very peaceful protest in one area of town, you will need to flexibly reroute your traffic unless you wish to wait or participate. Even prior to those moments in time, we were practicing flexibility on all things Zoom. I think I've even started using the phrase, "oh, for the love of Zoom." Because on many of those phone calls, we had to be flexible with timing, with things said when the mic was hot and no one knew it, things that happened on camera, like dogs in your lap, or children, or cats, or people who wanted to create creative backgrounds and didn't really know how to do it, and it went wrong, and or, heaven forbid, in the early days of some Zoom debacles or any online meeting platform, when hackers would interrupt your meeting and fill the screens with, let's just say, things that maybe were in the category of untoward. We've all practiced untold amounts of flexibility. And you're now able to say, yep, you've learned a few things, and you're probably far more good at it. So are those you lead. And remember, when you're leading others, number 1, these are the people you have the privilege of serving. And number 2, your leadership spreads in that they watch, listen, learn, and generally repeat what you do. Now, for 17 years, actually longer, I have referred to this avenue of leadership as being contagious. So within contagious leadership, and you have it, flexibility is not only the name of the game when working with people, but a skill set you have become probably far better at than you realize during the pandemic period. The second skill set. I would encourage you to think about just how much patience you've developed. Patience with each other. Patience, at least on most days, with your family. Patience with technology. And patience with those you have the privilege of leading, and in many cases, those to whom you report. You've had to be patient in an upward direction, I'm certain. Particularly if in your organization there have been layoffs or furloughs or, dare I say, more than the average changes. you could put developed, masterful patience almost on your resume. We've all had to practice so often. Yet there's something else I want you to consider in this realm of patience. I've long said that the amount of stress we are all experiencing, not only with the negativity, the news, the media, the political divisiveness, the ranting and raving of any number of various groups and people about other groups and people, not to mention the sheer uncertainty of a worldwide pandemic, and you having potentially lost your job, got less pay, and begun laughing when you discovered what the amount of unemployment actually looks like. But all of that combined, I've long since said that that stress is far more traumatic and has yet to really be uncovered or measured than most of us want to admit. Now, you may have practiced patience. You may have also practiced suppression. And what I would encourage is that you start shifting your focus of practicing patience toward yourself. Because having patience with ourselves and the workload we can carry and our focus and our ability to remember one appointment from the next. I have one coaching client who has to look at his phone calendar every single appointment or meeting because he can't keep in his head all the meetings of the day just from the stress and trauma of the reality of our situation. You've developed patience, and you're probably still practicing it. That, my friend, is a valuable leadership skill set, and if you didn't have it before, or maybe you made the mistake of praying for patience only to get opportunities to practice, you can stop those prayers now. But you've certainly got more than I bet you've ever had before. The third skill set is equally important and on a slightly different note. It's the ability to show creativity. Yeah, I'm certain you have developed and practiced and maybe even perfected creativity. For example, when all the stores closed, or the stores in your area, you couldn't buy what you wanted, at least when you wanted it. Let's say toilet paper. You either borrowed from a friend, you did without, or you laughed along with me about the various usages of leaves on Facebook. But when your stores closed and you couldn't get certain things you wanted, not essentials certainly, again, you either did without or came up with a way to borrow, or you got on Amazon. And even Amazon's delays were helping us practice even further the art of patience. But you developed creativity. Schools got immediately creative on how to deliver content to our children. Universities became immediately creative on how to shift classes from live brick and mortar to online almost instantaneously. Graduations have been made creative. Birthday celebrations of big milestones were done in ways that were creative. Even celebrations of life. Even how we're supposed to be working while homeschooling, while in some cases being a single parent, or at least being the only one who's taking on those responsibilities. We've learned and practiced creativity. The virtual workspace, I find, is not for the faint of heart. You may have found the same. But here's what I want to reassure you of. Not only have you developed a sense of creativity, but in the blink of an eye, in a circumstance perhaps never before made possible, and certainly likely never again, you were able to practice, develop, and hone in on this new skill set. And now you get to keep it forever. As you start looking at your reopening position, your reopening experience, plans, process, also look at the feelings of your reopening people. And what skill sets have they developed? Maybe that's a topic for your first face-to-face meeting if you're now in phase 2, or just brave. Take a look at the new skill sets they've developed. Talk about the new skill sets you've developed. And let's make the remainder of 2020 way better and perhaps even far more normal. I'm Monica Wofford, and that's your Monday Moment. Have a great week, an even better Monday, and of course, as we stopped saying for a while, stay contagious. And if you wanted a copy of the book, Contagious Leadership, contagiouscompanies.com, click on Store on the top right, and you'll see all of our leadership learning resources. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.